Hey, math educators. Welcome to another episode of the Modern Math Teacher Podcast, the podcast where we help you bring math class to life in your classroom with real world connections, project based learning, and engaging strategies to keep students on the edge of their seats. And it is officially October, and that means it is spooky season. And today we've got kind of a spooky, scary topic to talk about today. I'm your host, Kristen Moore, and today we're diving in to one of my favorite ways to make math class feel more meaningful for your students. And that is using election data to teach math concepts in your math class. Yep, we're talking voter turnout, age demographics, statistics, and so much more. This is especially timely, there we go, with the upcoming 2024 election. So let's make the most of this moment in history and show our students how powerful data can be in shaping the world around them. So I know it's controversial and a lot of us shy away from it, but why should we bring elections into math class? Think about it, you guys. Students are already hearing all about elections in social studies on the news. You cannot get away from these advertisements, tell you what. But math is where the key to understanding so much of what happens during election season. Whether we're talking about how voter turnout is calculated, how polling predictions are made, or even the math behind the Electoral College, there's so much potential for cross-curricular learning. And this, again, is the most relevant topic you can talk about with your students right now. That's where my brand new Election 2024 project comes in. This is hot off the presses, straight to TPT. And I've designed this project with algebra teachers in mind to help students dive deep into real world data and explore how math is used to analyze voter turnout. It is hands-on, it's standards aligned, and of course, it's designed to get your students thinking critically about data in a way that's relevant to what they're seeing around them. And I wanted to share this all with you guys because this is a great opportunity to bring the election into your math classroom, to bring your data and statistics unit to life, and to do all of this in a way that isn't controversial. Okay, so it's timely, it's real, it's relevant, it's definitely rigorous, but it isn't controversial, which is always the question or the fear teachers have when talking about politics and elections in the classroom. This is a really safe way to just look at and analyze the data and get your students engaged in that conversation in a meaningful, rich, and focused dialogue. Okay, so this project, hot off the presses, I'm going to break down how it works for you in case you want to bring the math class to life in your class, either with this project or with similar activities you design on your own. First of all, this is based on an essential question that drives student inquiry. It is, how do we use data to analyze voter turnout trends and make predictions about future elections? In this opportunity, your students are going to go through different phases from gathering this voter turnout data across different age groups, different demographics, and interpreting the data using math concepts like mean, median, standard deviation, even creating things like histograms and scatter plots. All of this data-driven democracy in this project. For example, you can have your students look at how voter turnout among 18 to 24-year-olds compares to older age groups. They are going to enter that 18 to 24-year-old market. They're likely interested in how their age group is showing up and how that is impacting elections. With this, your students can calculate average turnout rates. They can analyze data spreads and use technology like Google Sheets or Desmos to visualize their finding. And what's awesome is that your students can not only calculate the trends, but also model predictions about what future elections might look like based on current data, okay? Plus, we're incorporating a little bit of normal distribution into that project. So your students are going to get to explore how turnout rates might follow or deviate from a normal distribution. And they can estimate what percentage of each age group turns out to vote. So this hits on a lot of different math standards. You can break it up, pull it apart, lots of different activities to pick and pull for your classroom. It includes interpreting the spread of data and assessing how well their model fits. And so you've got a lot of opportunity to pull whatever data and statistics standards you want to into your classroom. Now, I know you're probably thinking, that's great. How do I fit it into my actual curriculum? And I've got you covered. So I've designed this to be super flexible. It's broken down into a lot of different activities that you can pull one or two together, or you can do all of them together into one project. You can really tailor it to fit into a unit on statistics, data analysis, or a standalone project that complements the lessons you're already teaching. Okay, these can be done in class, at home, small groups, however it is that you want. There's student handouts for immediate use, so all the prep is done for you there. And it covers key Common Core standards like representing data with plots on a real number line, so dot plots, histograms, box plots, using stats to compare data sets, and of course, interpreting differences in the center, spread, and shape of the data in the context of election. And you guys, let's be honest, anytime you can relate algebra to what's happening in the real world, you're going to boost engagement in your classroom. These activities could even be done just during election week, just to give you a little bit of something easy to prep for that week, or really no prep for you, easy and engaging to fill in between the units uh, activity project here. Okay, here's where it even gets better. The Election 2024 project is going to be part of the resources you can access inside the project-based algebra membership also, where I'm going to give a mini training on how to use this project a little bit more in depth. So when you're a member, you get some exclusive access to the project with the step-by-step guidance of how to implement it in your class through that mini training. It walks you through the project. It gives you tips on how to use online tools like the Google Sheets to help your students model and visualize that data. And I'll show you how to get the most out of the resource with your students, whether you're an algebra newbie or a PBL pro. It's always great, you guys, to bring real world learning into your classroom. So no matter how you decide to do it, your students are going to leave the project understanding not only the math concepts about them, but also how those concepts apply to the world around them. So if you're already a member, be sure to check out the Election 2024 project in the membership dashboard. If you're not, now's a great time to join so you can get extra training on how to implement this in the classroom, or you can go buy the project as a standalone on TPT in my TPT store. All right, you guys, that's it for today's episode. Whether you just take these ideas and design your own activities to bring the election and talk about it in a safe way in your classroom and explore real, relevant, rigorous connections to the math standards, or you decide to go in and buy my project either as a standalone or as part of the membership to get the extra training, I really hope that you're feeling inspired to take the upcoming election and turn it into a math lesson that you and your students will love and remember. Let's help them see the connections between math, the real world, and maybe, just maybe, we can spark some civic engagement in the process. All right, guys, as always, if you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe, share it with your fellow teachers, and leave a review wherever it is that you're listening. Don't forget to check out the Election 2024 project in the membership or the TPT store. Until next time, I will see you then. Keep doing amazing work. Do all the things you do. Keep engaging your students. And as always, keep it real.